you've heard this name before, then you know that there's an injunction or a lawsuit coming. Dr. Benjamin Magare Gikenyi. He is a Nakuru-based surgeon who has moved to the court to challenge the government's decision to increase fees for certain services in the immigration department. Yesterday, we told you about the increase in the cost of applying for a new ID, which went from 0 to now, about 100 shillings, 200 shillings actually. The cost of replacing an ID, the cost of getting a passport, renewing a lost passport, getting a birth certificate, death certificate, all of those. And Dr. Gikenyi has moved to court to challenge this. He says that one, the so-called public participation, quote unquote, was shoddy and a charade. He says that it did not follow the required process because it was only county commissioners and select officers were asked to do public participation, which is contrary to the principles of the constitution, that it was not actually involving Wananchi.
I think he's a real-time superhero because he has filed a petition seeking to suspend a February 29th memo, as Mariam has said. And of course, we were told that it's effective March. That's according to the Interior Cabinet Secretary, Kithure Kindiki, that the rates and prices for specific things will actually go up. I mean, initially an ID would go for 0 shillings. And right now it goes for?
I think 200 or 300 shillings.
300 shillings. Yeah. And for replacement, 1,000 shillings. Now, when it comes to the pages in your passport, it actually fully depends. 35, 50, then goes way up.
From the ordinary...
from 4,500 to
7,500.
7,500. We're looking at a situation whereby we will have the rates going up and it is effective fast March. Dr. Gikenyi also argues that the government actions are illegal since the statutory instruments being relied on had already expired and were revoked on January 25th, 2024 by virtue of an act that was put in place in 2013. Get the finer details, but I would have to celebrate this guy. He's our real-life superhero.
Right. It's not even
challenging
his first,
some of the...
Yeah, it's not his first rodeo with the courts and with things that are unconstitutional or that lack public participation. He went to court to challenge the vetting and appointment of 51 principal secretaries. And of course, if you remember, the court issued an injunction, and his case was combined with that one of the Law Society of Kenya. And his first case actually was against his university. He was suspended actually without being given a hearing. And he decided, actually, no, we are going to court. So he did go to court to seek recourse for a suspension without a hearing. And the court ruled in his favor. So since then, and now he's 38, he has realized injustice is a common thing. And he is going to do his best to make sure that he would not get away with it.
But what's your hobby? What's your hobby, Mariam?
Filing lawsuits. No, I'm kidding.
I think that's his hobby because he loves it, but of course it's something that's deeply inclined to when justice was served, and he feels like Kenya should be a better place. How about I think it's TBT to say that we have true activists in Kenya, because that thing just came and died. We've not seen serious activism for a while, and it's simply because the activists that exist have been, not all of them, some have actually been manipulated.
Can I say it's maybe
and some just stepped out?
They left this. It's not so much happening on the streets, but I think it is happening in courts of law. Whatever activism means to you, I think whatever is happening in our courts, because if you think about every single thing that has been done unconstitutionally or didn't have public participation or etc., the only injunctions happen when either the Law Society of Kenya goes in, or a Nukio Mtata goes in, or a Dr. Magare Gikenyi goes in. So I think activism moved from the streets to the courts.
Mimi nataka turudi kwa streets.